All 4 of these players are throwing this Innova Mamba in the same plastic and in the same weight. But it flies differently for each of them. Why? Well, because the speed, spin, launch angle, nose angle, and probably other things are different. Almost no 2 players throw exactly the same way. So how do you go about finding the disc that's right for you? Well, you watch the 4 of us throw not 1, but 4 Mambas in different plastics, all around the same weight, to see how differently they fly. Because the disc and the plastic were in the details. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six-Sided Discs, and this is the Innova Mamba. And so is this, and this, and you guessed it, also this. As we traveled around the country this season to expos and pro tour stops, we met many of you and got lots of valuable feedback. But one thing that kept coming up were these multi-level videos where we have a variety of throwers of different skill and power levels to really get a better sense of how a disc flies for lots of different throwers. So today we're going to take that 3 steps further and have 4 different players throw the same disc in 4 different plastics. Is that 3 steps? 4? I don't know. You get it. Maybe? Now, we would have loved to have 5 players once again like some previous videos, but our friend Josh, who has thrown for us in a few videos, sadly hurt his shoulder recently and was not available. So we're wishing him a speedy recovery. Don't confuse him, though, with Team Six-Sided Discs' Josh Alexander, who will be throwing for us at the MPO or MA1 level, along with myself right around MA2 or 3 arm speed. And we'll also have my wife Emily representing FA4 and my son Eli at the junior level. Now, the Mamba is one of the most popular drivers in Innova's lineup, and there's a good reason for that, particularly for lower arm speeds, which makes sense because the flight numbers of 11, 6, -5, would tell any noodle arm that this disc has some distance potential, even for them. In our previous multi-level tests with the Discraft Heat, Clash Discs Soda, and Dynamic Discs Truth, we stuck to testing just 1 disc in 1 plastic. But as I was planning for this video, I got to thinking, plastics play a huge role in stability. After all, we have an entire series of videos all about that. Which means it's not just enough to explore 1 disc for these different players, but instead to test 4 different plastics of the same disc to see if there is a specific plastic that flies closest to the flight numbers for each player. So let's take a closer look at these Mambas. First up, we have Star Plastic. Star is Innova's stock opaque premium plastic, one of their most popular blends, and the one we have today is 170 grams. Next, we have G-Star, a flexible version of Star with just a bit more grip. It is preferred in colder temperatures and also weighs in at 170 grams. We'll also be testing Halo Star, Innova's visual variant of Star that adds a swirly halo of color to the rim. In many cases, Halo plastic tends to be more overstable than standard Star plastic, but this one also weighs 170 grams. And finally, we have one of Innova's newest plastic blends, Proto Glow Champion. Their new, brighter, longer-lasting glow plastic weighs in at 171 grams. And that means that between these 4 Mambas that all have very minimal dome, we have just a single gram of weight difference. But before we get started, I do want to say a quick thank you, because you watching our videos is already a fantastic way to support us. But if you're interested and able, you can take that support to the next level in a few different ways, like making your next disc purchase at sixsideddiscs.com. And if you become a channel member at any of the top 3 levels, you'll get a discount on those purchases as well. You can also keep an eye out for our live streams on Whatnot, where we're selling discs that have been used in our videos and chatting and connecting with all of you. And finally, we'll be having a Black Friday sale the entire week of Thanksgiving with discounts on discs and apparel, so make sure you check out sixsideddiscs.com or subscribe to our email newsletter to stay up to date. We greatly appreciate all your support, and we can't wait to show you what we have planned for 2026. But for now, let's get back to the Mambas. And we'll begin our Mamba comparison at the tippy top with MA1 and MPO power level with Team Six-Sided Discs' own Josh Alexander. Now, Josh happened to have a screenshot of his tech disc data from last year, so he's throwing close to 65 miles an hour with around 1400 RPM. And with Josh's numbers, unsurprisingly for a disc with -5 turn, the Mamba was very understable for Josh. In Proto Glow Champion, Josh gets a full-on roller that wastes no time getting to the ground and pushing forward. And Halo Star, Star, and G-Star weren't far off of the same, as all three ended up cut rolling when they hit the ground. For Josh, it seems like no matter the plastic, a Mamba is just a roller at his arm speed. Dropping down in speed quite a bit to our MA2 or MA3 level is me. And I'll be throwing these on backhand. I would say my backhand is quite average, hovering around like the low 50 mile an hour range, which is a decent bit behind my faster, more powerful forehand, which hits around 58 miles an hour. And it's here that I'm expecting to start to see a bit more variety in stability. Beginning again with the Proto Glow Champion from a slide hyzer, I get a nice full flight, including a huge turn and brief forward fade late on. Compare that though to the Halo Star Mamba, and from a similar angle, it gets a lot less turn and a much more aggressive fade. And that wasn't too dissimilar to my throws with the Star Mamba, which also gets quite a bit less turn than the Proto Glow Champion. And finally, we have, surprisingly, what was for me the most overstable, the G-Star Mamba. On multiple throws, it was noticeably more overstable than the rest, even released with less hyzer angle. And honestly, this has been my experience with quite a few discs in G-Star plastic. Everything I hear from other players is that G-Star beats in more quickly, but often starts out just a little bit more overstable. So from most understable to most overstable, I had Proto Glow, then Halo Star and Star were about equal, with G-Star the least turn by far. Will those results match up with what Emily and Eli see from these Mambas? Let's find out. As I've mentioned in previous videos, Emily is a casual player at most, so I don't think she's actually thrown in maybe a few months. That said, we did check her arm speed in a previous Flight Numbers Don't Matter video where she was in the low 40 mile an hour to high 30 mile an hour range. So how will her lack of practice and lower arm speed impact the flights of these Mambas? Just like that, apparently. Anyways, in Proto Glow Champion Plastic, the Mamba has lost all of its -5 turn and is quite overstable for Emily on multiple throws. The Halo Star Mamba was a little more forgiving for Emily with a faint, let's say, -1 or -0.5 turn before that fade kicked right in. The Star Mamba flew almost exactly the same, holding straight with the faintest turn before fading out. And finally, the G-Star Mamba, which was probably released on slightly more anhyzer than the others, fought out very quickly. So Emily's results were a bit different to my own. Proto Glow Champion went from the most understable for me to the most overstable for her. Interesting. So last but not least, we move on to Eli. And even though six-sided discs has been around for literally half his life, he's only just now realized he's kind of interested in disc golf. So now that he's played a few actual rounds, even birdied a few holes, and even playing in his first tournament, he's ready to let it rip with these Mambas. And with Eli, we've officially come full circle on stability. Because while Josh saw almost no difference between these Mambas thanks to how understable they were, Eli sees almost no difference between them because of how overstable they are. And there is a variable that we didn't test today that I think was the main culprit for both of those results. Weight. In a heavier weight, we might have seen a slight difference for Josh, and at least enough difference to pick up on how these Mambas compared to each other. While in a lighter weight, we might have really seen the Mamba fly for Emily or Eli. In fact, I'm so certain that weight was a variable, we are going to be doing a very detailed weight test in an upcoming Flight Numbers Don't Matter video. That video will have the biggest age range we've ever included in one of these tests, from the highest rated FJ6 player in the world all the way to me just shy of 40. And we'll also have the biggest weight difference because I'm pushing 280 and she's probably no more than 40 pounds. Oh, disc weight. Yeah, exactly. We're testing ultralight discs from 109 grams to the mid 150s and 160s and all the way up to max weight from multiple brands in multiple plastics. So yeah, get excited for that. In the meantime, consider supporting us as a channel member, tune into our Whatnot streams, or check out sixsidediscs.com for your holiday disc shopping needs. Oh, and I almost forgot. You could win a 10-disc custom mystery box built to your specifications, plus some six-sided disc swag and apparel in the Trash Panda Holiday Used Disc Swap. So make sure you sign up at the link in the video description. Do you throw the end of a Mamba? How does it fly for you? And in what plastic? Let us know in the comments below. And also comment below what other multi-level tests we should do in the future. For Six-Sided Discs, I'm Greg, reminding you that sometimes it's pretty hard to find the difference between discs, but that won't stop us from trying. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh, hi. Nope, I don't even know what that was.
The Mamba is by far one of the most popular drivers in Innova's lineup. We graciously. And we'll begin our Mamba comparison at the tippy top with MA1 and MPO power level from Team. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or becoming a member. Your support makes this content possible.